as you can see, this rear flare is really coming along, and we're pretty close to getting it to the same as the other side. I just put on this last layer of Bondo glass, and you can see that it's laying really flat and nice. I went a little too far here, and then we had to fill in some gaps where there was a little bit of air bubbles in the fiberglass in there. Basically, this entire flare had to be extended about an inch from about here all the way around, and then now we're just trying to mold it, make it look nice. You can see here that this is looking really good. We got to fill in a little bit of these pinholes, a little bit of here. We can see that I wasn't able to sand. This needs to be sanded down, but I also found out that this door will work perfectly fine because the hinge is so far in that it pivots and it actually goes inside of itself. So there's no clearance issues with this being here, so I don't have to back that up or anything. I'm able to basically bump it up right to that body line, or to where that gap is for the fuel door. And so we're gonna be able to keep this nice and it'll look real good. I know I continue to get messages about not only shaving the fuel door, but shaving the doors and molding the doors and all this stuff. You gotta realize that this is not only how I want to do it, but this is how a lot of them do it over in Japan. They do it so basically it still has the gap for the door, and I'm cutting out for the door handle. I'm not going to shave that. I want the door to be able to function if I take off the flare. However, I don't want to cut the flare so that way the door opens, because it doesn't really make sense. I'd have to cut this and it would be a ton of work just to not even be how I want it to look. This is not the look that I'm going for. Basically, this is exactly what I want, and there's never really going to be anyone in the back seats anyways, so not a whole lot of point to do that. This fuel door, I know I got a lot of comments about shaving that and moving it. It's just really not something that they do, or at least as far as I've seen. Not only is this what I want to do, but this is what I've seen. Most of the time, they just have this 90-degree angle. We're going to round these edges a little bit, and they just cut out for the fuel door, and I think it not only looks good, but it is authentic to what I've seen. I know I haven't been updating you guys or really talking at all in any of these videos, this video and the previous video, I didn't talk at all. It's really just because I've been just working on this stuff and utilizing all of my time that I have here to work on the car. A lot of it has been just waiting for stuff to dry and then being able to then modify it and then continuing to wait for it to dry once I reapply, whether it be fiberglass or Bondo. We're probably gonna end up having to do just as much modifications to one of the flares as we did in the rear, just to make one identical to the other. But I did install the headlights just to kind of, I don't know, clean up the car a little bit, and I wanted to see how it looked, because I don't think we've had everything together ever. This is the first time that the wheels, the flares, the bumper, the long nose, and everything's kind of been together, and I wanted to get it on the ground in this video, but that's going to happen in the next video, where we're going to be able to kind of push it outside and see how everything's starting to come together. Obviously, we don't have all of the air on yet, but that is going to be built soon enough. The flares don't need to be 100% perfect before we start building those. It's really only going to be touching this area. Once the front flares are good in that area and we kind of figure out what we need to do, then we can, you know, take a little detour, build the side skirts, just so that way we can get those out of the way and kind of start getting this car moving along, at least get some visual progress while we're doing some of the more meticulous stuff. Anyways, guys, I know that was a super long ramble, but I kind of had to get out because I didn't talk for the past basically 2 videos. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you enjoyed, and peace out.